Hello.
Hi, Missy. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't in the wrong spot. That's all.
No, that's okay. I'm actually I just started the call, but I guess I'm gonna get JR to hop on. I gotta take my son to gymnastics and then I'll rejoin once we arrive.
Okay.
But you do have 5 scholars in the waiting room. Let me make you a co-host. And then I guess you just let me know when you're ready to let them in.
Okay. Just me 1 second. I'm trying to fix my light. How did I fix it? Okay. You can let them in.
Okay, no problem.
Meeting everyone. We're gonna get started in just a couple minutes.
Good evening, scholars. Let us know how you're doing as Miss C is getting all set up. Put in the chat how you're feeling. This has been a very unique week in our history, which is always the case when our country changes leadership. So let us know how you're feeling. Let us know how your family's feeling. And yeah, thank you for being here tonight. All right. I don't see anything in the chat just yet. Just drop in the chat. Let us know how you're feeling, how you're doing today. Go ahead and start turning on your cameras. Get settled. Thanks
For everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Latoya. Well, I'm glad I see some of the things that are in the chat. How are you guys doing tonight? I see some of you are tired. Some of you are tired. I can agree to that to a degree. It's been a very long day today. It has been. I am Missy, and I'm going to be talking today about advanced entrepreneurship mindset, what I'm doing today. And the first thing I want to do right before we get started, I want to make sure that you're able to see my screen. Let's see. Are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. And what I want to begin with you guys, I don't know how much you guys know about mindset. So can you come off mute, or you can use the chat too? I prefer you come off mute so we can actually interact. Tell me, what do you know or what your ideas are about mindset?
I believe that mindset is like the way you think about certain things and that can change. But like you usually want to have like a growth mindset for most things. So you want to improve yourself because everybody unfortunately has things they want to improve on and they want to progress because nobody's really perfect. So
Very true, Signa. I completely agree with it. And that's one thing we're going to talk about today actually is growth mindset and fix. We're going to look at the differences between the two, actually. And like you said, I'm glad you actually came out and you said it. Like, we're not all perfect. No, we're not. We do have, I call them imperfect, perfect perfections that we have because they make us who we are and what we're doing anymore in life. So in the course, thank you, Signa, for that information too, and actually answering the course objectives, for today, we're going to discuss, define, and identify what a mindset is. We're going to discuss and define some of the terms, like we said, the growth, the fix, subconscious mind, and conscious mind. I want to give you guys just a brief overview. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but just to have you some understanding of it, I want to give you some specific elements of before behavioral styles. Some tests that they use sometimes is like Myers-Briggs, the DISC. I have the alignment. The alignment assessment they're going to use that has those bases, but they usually are defined on those foundations. You'll have different ones, but they all will give you an idea of how you work in different areas of in a work environment and your behavior, which you are. Then we're going to give you some strategies and some outcomes that can help you dissolve and get out of obstacles that you're inquiring everyday life and just how it can apply to you when you're developing your businesses that you want or just your everyday life. I love self-development and leadership, so I do combine the two together. And then we're going to look at a doorway, to open your entrepreneurial experience that you have. So what I want to do first is I want to know who you are and what you are doing today. So 3 things I want you to do. We're going to come off mute and you can either volunteer first. I'm going to go around. I want your name, one new thing you've tried, and I see most of you are from the fundamentals. So one thing you've new tried, and what is one unique thing about you? So your name, a new thing you tried, and a unique thing about you. And I'll give you a couple minutes to write it down. What the new thing you tried, a unique thing about you, and then I'll ask for volunteers, and then we'll go around. Okay, who would like to go first? Go ahead, Catherine.
Hi. So to answer the first one, my name's Catherine, and the second, I've been doing roller skating for a while now. I really like it, and I've been taking classes to learn tricks. So recently, I've been trying to do these crossovers, and I think it's really fun. And one thing I think about myself is I think I hold others in a really high regard, and sometimes I like to do that for myself.
Okay. All right. I know for myself, I do have high standards for myself, and sometimes that can be challenging because I put too much pressure on myself to reach those standards that we have, but it's always to have them there. But sometimes I have to bring them down just a little bit, especially when I try to hold others at my standards, and they may not work as the same pace that I do or the same depth that I do or getting things done. The biggest thing is the pace. So thank you very much, Catherine. I appreciate it. All right, who's going to go next? You can just come off on mute also. Go ahead, Signa.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Snigdha, and one thing I've been trying is I'm trying to read more nonfiction books. They're not really working because I really, 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 really like fiction books because I've been in that habit since I was little. So like me trying to change it up is kind of difficult, but we're trying. I don't get more than a chapter done though. I try. And one unique thing about me is that I guess like I love family and like family is really important to me. And I guess I have like a tiny bias because I do get kind of spoiled even though I'm the older one because I'm like the first girl born in 3 generations on my dad's side, so I get spoiled a little too much.
Oh yeah, you're the first of everything I see. And you said you're trying to read more fiction books or nonfiction? I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
Nonfiction.
Oh, nonfiction. All right. Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Who's next? Layla?
So hi, my name is Layla. I'm trying to learn, like, I've been crocheting for a while, and I'll make things like, for example, I've made bows, I'm trying to make more, like little toys and trinkets, right? But now I'm trying to enter like something new, trying to make like crochet clothes and stuff like that. So that's something new I'm trying. And what was the third one?
Something unique about you.
Something unique about me. I'm very organized and like really on top of my stuff. And so I think like my organization is kind of unique.
Okay. I know one thing is when we were actually in Barbados and Jamaica, I did see a lot of times they did have clothing items that were actually crocheted. Like some covers for the bathing suits, they had shorts. So that's something that to even look into. I'm sure that'd be something that's viable too. It's neat to even crochet. All right, thank you. All right, Excel.
Um, my name is Excel, and I'm trying to have good time management. Like, I suck at it. It's really, really bad. And I have a lot of I have like a lot of stuff to do. I need to like get good time management. And what was the third question?
Something unique about you.
Um, I'm really good at dating. Like my school, they didn't have a debate team, but I found one, and I'm so happy. So can't wait to get back into it.
What is the one of the favorite debates you did? What topic was it?
So because I'm an 11th grader and my school didn't have a debate team, so the last time I debated was really a really, really long time ago, so I can't really remember the topic. But I just had this debate with my friend like Wednesday. It was about an election, but it was so good. Like we were going back and forth, but we had like the same mindset, so it was so fun. And I was like, I cannot wait till they start the club debate. Cause yeah.
And that's good. You brought up a good thing too. When having the same mindset, but you still can differ in different things. And debating is actually good. It sounds like debating you don't have much of an issue. You're open-minded to conflict, which I call positive conflict that you can actually have though. Thank you. All right. Oh, and you're good when you said about your time management, you're saying you suck at it. Sometimes it's not all about time management, it's like productive management. That's one thing we're gonna speak about too, and how we look at things and how we can change that. But yes, time is the one thing they say we can never get back. So I get the time management, especially when it's chaotic. So one thing Layla was saying she's good at being organized too. A lot of times I look at some people's desk and it looks so chaotic. I'm like, how do you find it? But that's their organized mess. Because if I ask for something, they can pull it right out of there. I'm like, how did you find that? How did you even know where it was located? So that's great. Thank you. All right, next, Michael. Did he drop off?
Yeah, he was on, but he might have got dropped off somehow. It's not there right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Nathaniel?
Hi, my name is Nathaniel. Um, what was like the first question again?
Well, you got the first one, your name, the one new thing you've tried, and what's one unique thing about you?
A new thing I tried was like getting into like other sports and stuff.
What new sport was it?
It was track.
Okay. So what part of track would you try?
I'm debating if I should do like speed, sprints or like distance.
Oh, okay. Sprints or distance. Which one do you like better?
Distance.
Oh, okay. I like distance better too. I liked more cross country. I wouldn't get my speed till later. All right. And what's one unique thing about you, Nathaniel?
Um, I think it's me not being organized. Like I don't know how to like say it, but like yeah, I'm like messy a little.
You're messy little?
Yeah,
All right. It's like an organized mess.
yeah,
You feel
yeah.
that sometimes? All right, we can have those. Like I said, we can have those. I know when I'm actually working and I'm trying to plan things or even doing lesson plans things, I use the whole table to spread out so I can see everything before I do. And it does look messy, but I do tighten it up as more organized as I get. All right, who is left? The Nehemiah? All right, well, I will go with me. I go by Miss C. My name is Crystal Morgan, but there's been always so many crystals. You think about me as I got my name, Crystal, when my mom was pregnant with me, she said everywhere she went, she saw crystals. So that's how I got my name. But then it's very pretty. I don't mind it, but it came to a point where always in class, there was always another crystal. I was in a class, there were like 7 at one time. I'm like, geez, Louise, I didn't know the name was going to be so popular going to school. So then it went to my last name, but then there started to be more of those. So I just started to just go by Miss C. So there weren't too many of those. That's what, and unique thing about me, I'm gonna say is that, well, excuse me, the new thing I tried. The new thing that I tried recently, I did 4 miles in one day. The new thing that I tried, and for me, that's a challenge for me because with me recovering from brain surgery still, I have to try to do different things to push me and increase my mobility. But on trying that new thing, I did find out a new boundary, what I was able to do and not able to do yet, as I say. So that was something about me as I'm moving forward. And is everyone able to have their cameras on and participate in the chat if you can? I want to be as interactive as we can as possible. Moving forward and just keep moving. If you have questions at all or if I'm unclear, please let me know. I have no problem with asking questions or if you don't understand. All right, so what I have is your entrepreneurial mindset. So unlocking your keys to success. One thing I want to ask is, what is a definition of success to you? We all can have a different definition. I'll go with me. I'll go first, give an example of it. For me, success, one avenue of success, it's constant growth out of my comfort zone. If I constantly stay out of that, I know I'm constantly moving and growing and I don't stay stagnant. I have to take more steps to that. So what is success to you? What does it look like? Go ahead, Layla.
So success to me is like achieving my goals and like achieving. I'm very goal oriented, but I also want to maintain like I don't I'm good living in like the middle parts of life, like not trying to like be like top 10 and everything I do. Like I'm good at being able to try my best and be satisfied with those results. So for me, success would be like having a goal reaching that goal and then going beyond.
Okay, that's fair. Very good. Thank you very much. Stigta?
I feel like my success depends on the context, but like generally speaking, I feel like my success goes along with like unfortunately I push myself like really high. So so like getting the highest I can, or even just like if I commit to something, go with it as far as I can, or like even reaching that point, or like just reaching goals. I'm not goal oriented sometimes though, because I do like not finish stuff, but like I try.
Long as you try and you keep moving. I mean, it comes to what you're doing. It depends. It is very situational at sometimes, and even the environment, how you view success, looking at some things. So very good. And Excel? You're muted if you're trying to talk, Excel.
I'm sorry. Okay, so success to me was it'll be a lot of things like Layla and Snigdha said. I feel like success is getting to like achieving that one goal you have and knowing that you did try your best. Because I know they're like you said, they're like a lot of things that are gonna stop you on your way to achieving that success. But as long as you just like push through and get to like where you want to be and not where people want to see you, I feel like that's success to me.
Your vibe went out at the last part. You're saying people view you as a success, and I didn't hear the ending.
Oh, I said as long as you get to the point where you want to be and not the point where people want to see you be, I feel like that's
Very
what
true.
success means.
Very, very, very true. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So we're looking at it to going to define because you guys gave very good examples of success, and it does depend on your beliefs, and like you said, not so much what society puts on us at times. So the entrepreneurial, the mindset, it is about combining your beliefs, your attitudes, and things that drive you to achieve your goals that you have. So the definition of the entrepreneurial mindset, trying to make sure it goes for you guys. It's the blend of the traits I always said. I like the part of it doesn't have it in here too. It's a character of who you are, your values, it comes in too. You see where your opportunities are, where other problems that others may not see. And to me, that gives you that versatility, because it's something that you may see, for instance, in school, you may say, wish you had this, wish you had that. That actually starts brewing the entrepreneurial mindset. It keeps it going. So you're constantly learning and you adapt to new challenges. New challenges, it's good to have the problems that come along with it, because the problems actually will be avenues for you to have some revenue, for you to have some income. And it's so great, even being an entrepreneur myself, is that creativity that you give yourself. Now you have flexibility, but you do have a monotonous amount of responsibility also, as you've learned with Coach Chef Dre on it. You have to be afraid. At times you can be hesitant, and I am very mindful of words that I use, especially I love, like I said, mindset, and I always try to speak positive. If I say something that may be in a negative manner, I try to find a different word. For example, it says here, entrepreneurs aren't afraid to take calculated risk. You're not afraid to, but sometimes you will hesitate because you may not know what the future is holding, or you may be you had a bad experience sometimes, or you may as some people say mistakes. I say mistake due to the fact that it just wasn't the right solution for that problem. So basically, it's like you're on a road and there's side roads. Maybe you took the side road instead of staying on the main road when you're trying to calculate your disc or finding what solution is good for that problem. So there are risks, but it depends on the big risks and how big or small the risk that you are taking. But it's the point that you do take a risk, because sometimes it can put you where you're at and where you need to be. So it's being open with those things and I love the constant learning that you have. Because if you're constantly learning, that means you're constantly adapting. But you don't want to constantly learn all the time, but you're not implementing some of the things that you're learning. You would have a information overload a lot of times. So with entrepreneurial mindset, you also have the cognitive thinking aspect of it. So the cognitive aspect is basically just your mental process of your thinking and learning and how you understand it. So one thing, a very well mind, they say that, cognition, it includes all of your conscious and unconscious processes that we have. So that involves your thinking, your perceiving, your perception, your reasoning that you have. So I think one example of what it would be is you paying attention to something in the environment. I know a lot of times, I know sometimes I'm like waiting, sometimes my daughter's in the grocery store. So sometimes I'll people watch. I just make sure I look at my environment, what's around me, staying alert. But as I people watch, sometimes I will learn something new, maybe how people are interacting a lot of times, but sometimes it's comical, just, watching people every day. A lot of times it's brings a smile on my face. A lot of times I see when people are walking or just out in the environment is maybe that person could use something like this. So as my creative mind is moving, which your innovative mind comes with that. So you're likely to be more innovative and take the risk of doing something new. Those decisions making that you have, the processing, your senses that you have in the environment where you're looking around, and also solving the problems is big. Solving problems, what problem can you solve for somebody, even in your community or for yourself, that's going to help. And also using your memory, some more things about it. And the thing that we talked about too, I want to go into when we're talking about the fixed and a growth mindset. These are two avenues of mindset. There are so many different mindsets that you can have, especially that comes with leadership and it comes with your businesses that you guys are looking to actually have. Some of you have already started and you guys have great ideas and foundations of what you're going to do. So understanding the fixed mindset, it is the limitations that we put on ourselves. A lot of times those are more the beliefs and abilities that we stop ourselves because of fear, for instance, example, that can hinder our professional growth or even our own because we're lacking to even start to go by that finish line. So the fear of failure, how strong with you, scholars, is the fear of failure with you? What do you think when you hear failure? When you sitting here understand that fixed mindset, that fear of failure?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, or even what you feel when you hear fear of failure?
Fear to like let people down.
Mm-hmm. Sikta?
Like disappointing certain expectations, my expectations, certain people's expectations, especially the expectations or like even thinking of disappointing people I respect and like look up to, even if they might not think that.
Right. And that actually puts a lot of weight when we're looking at outside, especially when it comes with our parents, our peers, even as adults with our children, we're role models for others. It's like, what do we look like if there's a lot of pressure that actually comes onto us and that sits on us and our impact of learning? Sometimes it can be a negative impact because we get discouraged. How many times have you heard maybe friends or maybe associates that you have, they say certain things when you have a good idea, when you're starting to take risk or you're starting a new experience, you're starting to take a new experience. How does that feel when someone is basically not accepting your happiness that you have, or your, in a sense, a newfound freedom? You're happy that you took this challenge. How are outside influences impacting on your learning and your risk taking? Does it stop you at times? I see heads nodding. So when it's stopping at times, what are you doing to try to navigate that sometimes?
Maybe try and push through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Push
don't like, yeah, like just let the voices of the people just be behind you, because at the end of the day it's your life and what you get through, not them.
Very much so. Very, very much so. I know that's the one thing looking at too, when we're looking at life ourselves, you have a lot of people say you have one life to live. and you truly have one life to live along with time. But I was saying before, that impact that comes with that is how much that influence when other people say depends how they're influencing. Where is the information coming from? How credible is that person? Is this a person that is going to uplift me? Is this person pushing me forward? Is this person helping me actually problem solve to get over the fear I may be having? Or are they helping me work through challenges? But when you have that fixed mindset, a lot of times too, you run from the challenges or you avoid them, I'll say. You take the easy path, the easiest path of less resistance when it comes to that. So you actually stagnate yourself. So your challenging situations that you have, sometimes you don't want to take the challenge because of what your perceived thought of failure is, or you're thinking maybe I won't do it. So how do you get over thinking something you won't do it? What are some things you guys have done?
If it's like something I really, really, really want to do it and I can see myself doing it in the future and sharing it with other people, then I would push through, even if like my parents or anybody says like, no, don't do it. It's not worth your time. You can do it something else. But like at the end of the day, it's something that I want to do. And if I really, really want to do it, I'll push through. I'll make the time.
And that's something key you just said too, Sikta. Once you make the time, a lot of times we make the time for what we want to do. Very true. Go ahead, Layla.
For me, sometimes when I like feel discouraged and I don't feel the motivation to like do something, I'll just fake it. And I'll tell myself, why give up now? You're so close and stuff like that. And I also like when I talk to my brothers and my sisters, my brother and my sister, I say, you're 9 steps there. You only got 1 more to go. In a sense, like that's why like my best helper in a sense. I always like fake out, even though I don't know, but I pretend like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm so close. I just need to do one more thing, give my best this one more time, and then whatever I set my mind to, it will be mine.
Yes, and sometimes that the first step seems the longest and the last step to get it seems the longest. It's like getting there. That's very good. I love that. I saw a picture. It was that scene. I don't know if you guys have seen something similar. It's a man digging. It's like a path he's digging, and he's like, there's a diamond right on the other side of the pile. If he just digs and just a couple more, a little bit more, he digs, he'll get to the diamond on the end of it. But you have the one that's just sitting there that's like, I give up now, and they're right there to get it, to capture. And a lot of times we will feel that way and the impact, and there's nothing wrong when I'm going through these two mindsets. Nothing's wrong per se with it. You just don't want to stay in it too long, especially the fixed mindset, because it will keep you there. You avoid challenges, the things in these, the limitations on it, the failure and the impact learning. If you stop learning, you don't grow. You're being fear letting you stop you from doing things. You won't continue to do it because you have fear running you, not your motivation running you. And then your challenges that you have, your challenges help strengthen you and help you grow in different avenues. It helps you problem solve a lot better. But with these words, sometimes they actually have a negative connotation to them too, especially with failure. I love to say first attempt in learning. We don't know if it's a failure unless we even attempt. We cross the finish line. I mean, whether we put our whole body one step across it or we just put our foot across it, something crosses it to give us just an inch to even move, to actually just test the waters. Nothing's wrong with testing the waters and moving forward. So the other one, they would have the opposite of the fixed, would be the growth. And some of you have mentioned growth. I think Signa, you were one of that mentioned growth mindset. What is growth mindset to you? What power does it give you?
I mean, growth mindset, me personally, gives me the power to be like, okay, so I screwed up this. Fine, I screwed it up. Let's try this instead. Or like it's just like if I'm in that mindset, it won't let me stop, if that makes any sense. Like it'll finally feel like, okay, whatever hard work I put in, at least I'll get to the end result I want to get to.
that makes sense. All right, someone else. What is growth mindset to you?
I would say growth mindset to me is like just pushing through. Like you said, the last slide, a fixed mindset. If I have a fixed mindset, it's just me like when I get to that one place and I know I can go further, but I'm just tired. I don't want to move no more. I just stay there. But growth mindset to me will be me like just going forward to trying to go get what I need to get, no matter like what is like stopping me. That's a growth mindset to me.
Mm-hmm. Rachel, Miss Catherine?
Hi. So I view a growth mindset as basically viewing failure as more so an opportunity than a drawback. Like, for example, um, I I am in my school's basketball team. If I don't make a shot during a game, I do my best not to push too hard on myself or look down on myself, and more so looking at, hey, I didn't look up while I was doing it. Like, more so looking at what I did wrong, how can I improve? And instead of viewing it as a failure, viewing it as an opportunity to go on.
Oh, yes. I love basketball and I played basketball and actually in high school. And I hated it when I was doing the foul shot, a close game. And it was like, it was either I make the shot and I win the game for everybody, or I miss the shot and I lose the game for everybody. So when it comes to that, like you said, Catherine, it was, well, I have to take it was disappointing because, especially it was a tight game, geez, well, I tried. At least I showed up, tried for that. I'll make sure, and that makes you go back and practice more to make sure that you get more foul shots. You practice your shots that you're making. That's how it is in life too. You practice the shots. Some are going to go in, some are not going to go in. At least you're stepping up to that line to even toss the ball. And toss the ball is open doors, those opportunities. You're tossing yourself out there to say, yes, I'm embracing this as it's saying. You believe in your abilities because you're developing through the effort that you're doing, you're learning. And the biggest thing is the persistence that you have to push through, like you're just saying, that persistence that you have. Go ahead, Layla.
For me, like I see growth mindset as like having faith even in the dark times.
Definitely.
Um, I'm I so I'm very like keen on faith, continuing to go on even when you have nothing left, even when you don't see a way out. Just going on that feeling like that. For me, it's just like I know that I can, even when I feel like I have nothing left, I know that I can conjure up some more. So, growth mindset is looking at is me kind of saying, I see all the challenges, I see all the possible ways that I may be defeated, but I'm going to find a way to conquer each one of them. And even if it takes a lot out of me, I'm going to find a way to. I'm going to find a solution for the problem, and then I'm going to continue on forth more on my path.
Definitely, definitely. And I agree with you when it comes with faith. What you look at, in faith wise, and how do you prepare for it? How much you into it, and I love making mantras. And this is one thing we have in the growth mindset. I want you guys to take, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Actually, I want you guys to take at least just 5 minutes and come up with a mantra that you can say to yourself that will keep you in a growth mindset when you may be feeling not good enough for something. Maybe, or you messed up sometimes, or this didn't go the way you wanted to. So take 5 minutes, I would say, and come up with a mantra for yourself. And does everyone know what I mean by a mantra? Let me ask that. Okay. the one that I would go by. Oh, thank you, right. The mantra that I go by, that's one of them. I have many of them, but the one that I go by the most is I am never broken. I'm only breaking free from what is holding me back. That is one I say often when it comes to keeping me in a growth mindset, where I start to get discouraged sometimes or just feel overwhelmed. So go ahead, Signa.
I just made this on the spot. I had a different one, but I think I like this one better.
Okay.
You always start as a caterpillar and then turn into a butterfly. So one more time.
Very much. Butterflies are my favorite. I love metamorphosis that comes with that. The one that I equate to that to is the phoenix. So I do a phoenix butterfly because, of course, it has to go down in ashes and it's reborn again. And I love that because you grow and you mold, you come different ways throughout your life and different versions of you, which are, as long as you keep going, I love different versions of you. Some people say, I want to go back to the old me. But I'm like, be specific though. What part of the old you do you want to go back to? You don't want all of what you had, especially when you're grown and you've graduated and you actually move forward in a different level of education, a different level of maturity, that you have. All right. Thank you. Michael?
Mine was kind of simple. I was just saying, move on, move up. Like, I'm always like, you gotta stop dwelling on the past. I think you gotta learn from mistakes,
Mhm.
and just like continue, like keep pushing forward and try to learn from mistakes.
I like that. Move on, move up. That's something simple you can say over and over again. Nothing's wrong with simplicity. It's all what someone likes. Thank you. I love it though. All right, Catherine.
So mine is a little brief. It's 4 words: embrace, learn, grow, repeat. And embrace means is encouraging you to accept challenges. Learn is about gaining knowledges from those challenges and seeing it as a growing opportunity. And that's where the third word, grow, comes in. And it's about personal development and becoming a better person. And repeat is just, it's an ongoing thing. And that's what comes with being an individual.
Very, very good. Thank you very much. One thing with growth, I go is getting rid of old ways. That look at growth too. All right. Or even one other was getting rid of waste. I like how, Michael, you were saying, the past aspect. To me, is the past things that aren't relevant to you right now, we need to get rid of and shed. All right, Layla?
So I have very wise people around me, and something that is constantly said is the storm will pass. So
Yes.
I took that and made like my own spin on it, and I said that the storm will pass and the darkest night will end. So look around and learn while you can.
Very good, very good. I've seen shirts that say I am the storm. And it's how you view a storm. A storm is, I like her saying the blackest night. Sometimes in the blackest night is just, to me, can look at clarity that you have in the storm. So a storm is making pass in that way of a growth mindset. It's clearing the way for you, another avenue to look at storms. Very good. Thank you. All right, Excel.
Mine is, well, it's kind of long, a little, not too much. But I said, every setback is an opportunity. One step at a time, progress unfolds. Failure is not final, it's feedback.
Your volume went out. Start it again.
Oh, got it. Okay. I said,
Please.
every setback, no problem. Every setback is an opportunity. One step at a time, progress unfolds, and failure is not final, it's feedback.
Okay. Okay.
It went out
Failure is
again?
not, well, part of it. Failure is not final.
I'll type it.
Okay.
It's
You type
feedback.
it.
I'll type it in chat. Yeah.
Okay. You type it, I'll read it then.
Okay.
Those are good mantras, and they do help. And what I would like for you guys to actually write those down and have those, say them every day where you're saying them, or it's just it comes as simple as you just saying when someone asks what your name is, your mantra comes out fluently. And you can have different ones. very much so, having your different mantras, but they do help and they can shift you into a quick shift from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. All right, I see it came through. All right, so every setback is an opportunity, one step at a time, progress unfolds. Failure is not final, it's feedback. I love that. I love that the failure is not final, it's feedback. Very much so. It's telling you how to do something differently, what we can. And the thing that's not, that misses sometimes is sometimes the emotion. We look at just getting things completed. We have to look at the emotion that's giving us in that feedback. So one thing that goes into the next thing we're going to talk about too is the subconscious and conscious mind, and also some of the 4 different types of behavior styles that there are, and see how they can and how it can influence you. Also, did you have something else, Excel, or your hands just still up from last time? Okay. All right. 1 second. Let me move. One second here with you guys. So I want to introduce you, but I want to show you how sometimes how your environment, your senses, and everything runs together. So just give me 1 second. Let me bring the video up really quick. So I had it up already for you guys. Ready to go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you guys know if you can hear. Also, that's the other thing. You can hear the video. Did it go? This is my groin area for you guys.
Image can speak volumes about your personality. Before you get to know yourself on a whole new level with the help of these optical illusions, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join us on the bright side. Number 1, what do you see first? A frog. Most people see a frog right away. If this is about you, then you have a straightforward personality. You try to be honest and direct with others no matter what. You're perceived as confident, trustworthy, and reliable. There are no hidden messages in your words, which is why people can trust your opinion and advice. A horse. Not so many people manage to spot a horse from the get-go. If you still can't see it, try tilting your head to the left. There you go. What a beauty, right? Those whose attention is first drawn to the horse are thoughtful individuals. If you're one of them, you have an analytical mind. You don't take things for what they seem to be. You have a critical approach to life and prefer to reach your own conclusions about a situation. Number 2, what do you see first? 3 bears. If the first thing that caught your eye was 3 big gray bears, you have an analytical way of thinking. You prefer a logical and stepwise approach to solving problems. You try to break an issue up into separate parts. This helps you understand the main problem and solve it efficiently. Mountains. If you saw mountains first and only then recognized that they look like bears, your style of thinking is intuitive. You often rely on your gut feeling, and it rarely lets you down. You use your experience to solve problems fast and efficiently. You can notice common patterns in different situations, and they help you figure out the necessary solutions. Number 3, what did you see first?
What do you guys see? Put in the chat. What do you see? First thing you saw. Sassy squirrels. Anybody else see anything different? First thing they see? Okay. See squirrels. All right.
Two squirrels on a tree branch. In this picture, most people immediately notice a couple of squirrels sitting on a tree branch. These are the types of individuals who can see the big picture effortlessly. If you're one of them, your abilities help you correctly assess situations at first sight, and thus solve subsequent problems efficiently. A woman's face. Very few people manage to see a woman's face at all, let alone notice it at first glance. If you still can't find the face, tilt your head to the left. One squirrel will turn into the woman's lips, the other into her eye. However, if the face was the first thing you saw in the picture, congrats! You're a unique individual with outstanding observational skills. This can help you in both your work and your social interactions with others.
Did anybody see the lady? You know what they said? The woman's face? You guys can come off of mute. Somebody really see the chat very well all the time. But I wasn't able to see the woman's face either.
Number 4, what did you see first? A man with a pair of binoculars. You're a person who prefers to concentrate on the big picture if the first thing you spotted in this image was a man holding a pair of binoculars. Several glances are enough for you to collect all the information you need. That's why you aren't a big fan of thorough analysis. A car. If you instantly saw a car, your coworkers and friends must appreciate your ability to notice fine details. You like when everything goes according to a detailed plan. At the same time, you may occasionally overanalyze things, which can prevent you from making quick decisions. The letter A. Are you one of the very few who noticed the letter A first of all? If so, then your strong intuition is enviable. On top of that, you're a person who always suggests creative ideas and non-standard solutions. Number 5. What did you see first?
What do you guys see first? Put in the chat. Tree, 2 faces. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind, Miss Rosie. The tree. All right, a tree. All right, let's see what we have. Yep, I can see that, Layla. The tree first, and then you notice the 2 faces after you see it. Yep, I saw it too. All right, let's see what it says.
Two faces. If the first thing you paid attention to was a couple looking at each other, then you're a romantic at heart. You really value the people in your life. Love and understanding mean a lot to you. Not to mention, you have a positive and friendly personality. Your inborn reasoning abilities can calm down even the most nervous or agitated people. A tree. If your attention was instantly drawn to a tree, you're the type who occasionally needs to be on their own. You love nature and solitude, but don't mind spending time with your loved ones as well. Besides, you're a tactful person who avoids hurting others' feelings by all means. Number 6. What did you see first?
What do you see first? Flowers. Okay, a face. Woman's face. Okay. A woman's face. And these are some things when I was letting you guys know, looking in, how different things influence our mind and what we see and the vision that we have.
A girl's face. If you're one of those who notice the face of a young woman, you're always aware of your surroundings. What's more, you see patterns around you, and this helps you draw the right conclusions and make correct assessments. Flowers. If you saw only flowers in this image, you probably really love nature. You appreciate the world around you, but also manage to get away from the everyday hustle and bustle when you need to. Number 7, what do you see first?
What do you see first? Put it in the chat. Mouse. A bunny. Okay. A guinea pig in front of a cat. Okay, Michael.
Mouse. If you spotted a mouse first, you're an optimist. You prefer to look for advantages in every situation. You sometimes might not be practical enough, and people often say that you have your head in the clouds. But in fact, you're well aware of the world around you. You simply prefer to concentrate on its bright sides. A cat. If you saw a cat as soon as you glanced at this picture, you're a realistic person. You know what you need from life, and you don't naively build castles in the air. You see the world as a whole, and this helps you plan your subsequent actions. Number 8.
That's
What
the
do you see
last
first?
one. What do you see? First thing you see. A woman looking outside a window, okay. A skeleton right after the girl in the window, okay. A skull, a girl then a skull, okay.
Woman looking out the window. If you notice the woman looking out the window first, you may tend to overlook dangers. You might even risk your life without realizing it. You're sometimes too spontaneous and a bit naive. That's why you may often find yourself unprepared for unpleasant consequences. A skull. Was it a skull that you first noticed? If so, then you're a realist rather than an idealist. You probably come off as a bit cynical to people who don't know you well enough, but your line of thinking is simply that all good things may come to an end one day.
Now that was just what it said on the bottom. That's just an activity I wanted to look at and how our lens, our perception and how we see the world sometimes. We can see the same picture, but it's showing different things. And it also comes in of us, what we see in our experiences, our values sometimes, and even our feelings. Our feelings will actually transform an image into what we're feeling. Just like one of them, though, for instance, the girl with the face. Some saw flowers, some saw the face. It's like what we're feeling in that moment that'll give it, or what is our mind is trying to pull back, not pull back, pull forward the memories. They're trying to say, what can I associate this with? What can I do to move forward? And that's one of the things that we look into, the influence of the subconscious mind also. Let me share my screen with you guys also. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had
I see
nuts.
it.
Thank you very much. So the influences of your subconscious mind, it's your reservoir. It's your memory break on your beliefs, your experiences, everything you have up until now in your point. Even every moment that you have, it's gonna shape your actions and your perceptions, everything. That's why I wanted to do that, looking at different lens. So it's the knowledge that you can retrieve, but it's not necessarily focused on the moment at the moment. So the more you looked at those pictures, sometimes you saw different things based on versus what you just saw in the moment. So as the entrepreneur mindset, it's going to impact and drive you into risk taking. I know this from a past experience, but maybe this can happen more too. I can maybe try this route because I believe in the fact that something else can happen that may be more useful, or you truly want to have a bigger impact. This worked right now, so I know it works, but what is the next step that I can do to maybe make it work even more? So being not focused necessarily on that moment, it will be in charge of some of your recent memories. So it's constantly and continuously in contact with your unconscious mind. So we're going to talk about that aspect too in the next slide. But your subconscious mind, it takes a little bit more to convince you about something. So just like your influences and your intuition, that gut feeling that you have, and especially when it comes to your decision making, sometimes we don't listen to our gut. We listen to our mind sometimes, and it comes in with some of that fixed mindset things, those fears, or we want to avoid the challenge a lot of time instead of going to the growth one that's going to say, it's okay. I'm going to listen to my intuition right now. I'm going to make a decision I'm be okay with, because what happens when you make a decision? What is the ultimate demise if you make a decision? What is the consequence if you make a decision?
The outcome could potentially be something that could affect you in a negative way.
True. Or it could be what? The negative way would be the fixed mindset. What could be the growth mindset in that decision making?
It'll teach you something new.
Very much so. Very much so. And that's why I like with the decision making, because a decision, it can always be changed, correct? And that's one thing to say. So it's going to shape your problem solving. Like it says, it's approaching to your creativity and innovation that you have, because it's just like, okay, now in the chance, I'm going to take this, I'm going to move with it, but understand the part is how the subconscious mind takes a little more convincing, but it won't change, but it will not change right away. The subconscious mind gets changed by habit, by repeating things over and over again. And how long, do you guys know how long it takes to even form a habit? There's different information out there, how long it takes a habit. But what starts to make the habit? What do you have to do to even start making a habit? Right, repeating it. Exactly. Repeating that habit. Go ahead, Excel.
I was gonna say the same things you just said, just repeating the habit.
Right. So you can solidify it. So you can actually, it can be in there to keep going. And for instance, too, yep, very much consistency with repetition, very much so. And another one is staying committed to the change that you want to have, the one you want to be. So an example of how the subconscious is your reservoir. For example, you're going to a grocery store and you're going to get some ingredients for a recipe. The subconscious mind is going to focus on getting you home because it's made that habit repeatedly. You know how to get home, and from different ways, but you may just take the same road the same way every day coming home, but you're making a pit stop at a grocery store. But the conscious mind is going to focus on what do you need right now in the moment? What do I need? Because it's not going to sit there. You're not going to need to ingrain in your brain the ingredients for something, because it might not be you even making it. It might be your mom, a family member just telling you to pick up ingredients. So it's not going to be something in there, but the habit of you going home all the time is going to be ingrained in your brain for you. Does that make sense? Oh, and I like how you put in their signature. I see the persevere through obstacles. Very much so. The mind is going to remember, the outcome. You're persevering through these obstacles. But one thing it can do, what can set you to a fixed mindset, is if that you persevering and that obstacle did not come out in a favored way, it was unpleasant. And then you have fear, then you have worry that might set into it, that may not even move you forward to the next step, which you have. The next one, as we talk about, is the conscious mind. So the conscious mind, it communicates to the outside world, and it's the inner self speech through speech, through pictures, some of what we did with that exercise earlier, like what do you first see, writing, physical movement, and some thoughts. The thoughts, like I said about the recipe, they're going to come and go all the time. The conscious mind is always changing. So it's your brain that's responsible. And the thing is feelings. How often do your feelings change?
Continuously, like almost every second.
Right. Sometimes I wish they didn't. Sometimes it'd be like it's like a tornado sometimes, or a storm, like that was mentioned, all the emotions that are flowing around, the feelings and that. That's the most that you're aware of a lot of times. So you have, like it says at the top, is the self-awareness. So knowing yourself and your strengths. Sometimes we don't know, but a lot of times sometimes we don't want to even admit or accept what we do know and then move forward. The second one is the goal setting. So you got to make sure that they're clear and they're achievable. A lot of times we make those standards so high for us, we keep them out of reach. And that actually will cause more discouragement at times, but it depends where your mindset is at. Is it going to encourage you or motivate you, or is it going to ask you to stop and avoid when it comes to setting some of those goals? We talk about that decision making. You're making your conscious decisions and those deliberate choices. A lot of times it takes longer for you to make a decision. That's like, what stops you guys, or what actually in your decision making process makes you want to pull the trigger?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, when you're making a decision, you're in your decision making process. What makes you pull the trigger to make that decision or make that choice? What makes it okay to say, I'm going to answer yes, I'm going to answer no, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it? What makes you want to answer that deliberately to do it?
Like the inner confidence, the desire to be able to do it.
That's one. Very true. All right.
Maybe when you know what you're getting yourself into.
That's a big one. Yes. Or the other one is who is going to be there a lot of times. Who is going to, depending if it's like you're going to an event or something, who is going to be there also? What else is it? Especially looking in the entrepreneur mindset, when it comes to your businesses and you want to do something, what is going to make you pull the trigger in your decision making?
I was thinking like if a leadership figure or like something, a person you really uphold or someone you revere, if they would make a similar decision or if they have.
Right. Kind of like, what would they do? What would they think? Very true. Very true. All right. And then the action taking. Go ahead, Signa. I saw you come up on mute.
I was just gonna say maybe like the advice that you got from other people who've already went through that path. So if they said that, oh, that's probably a good idea, like something maybe I should have done.
Very
maybe-
true. That helps influence it. Very much so. All right. And Layla?
In certain cases, it's not like always in the sense that I'm, the point that I'm about to make. In certain cases, you kind of get used to what you've been exposed to and what is around you, and sometimes where you're at, you know you can produce more, you know you could be better. So you're like, I can't tolerate just where my comfortable level. I can't tolerate being in this same spot. I have to make this jump. I have to at least try.
Very much so. One thing too, similar to what you're saying, is you're just fed up. Sometimes we make the pulls the trigger. Sometimes you just get fed up. You get tired of thinking. You get tired of thinking a lot of times, especially the overthinking part of it, or you're fed up and like, I'm just going to do it. I'm tired of this. Or you want to silence everybody or silence all the voices and all the things that you're thinking of, what could happen, what should happen. To silence it, you just say, I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to jump and do it. And that reminds me too, off of one of them that I speak about, also too, is on the internship, with S.O.A.R, one thing I did, I jumped off the cliff. And when I first jumped off it, I actually kind of did a cannonball and a cannonball and like, I even know, I forget the other one. Well, kind of like a belly flop in a sense, but it was in a cannonball first because I slipped because there was, sunscreen. It was very slippery and it was raining, of course, but I was determined that I'm going to jump off. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to jump off. I did jump off. And then when I jumped off, it didn't feel good. And you could hear, cause it was video and it was like, ooh, that like it hurt. It actually did. It did hurt. It did. But I was proud of myself for doing it because I was pushing a limit. But I will say I did have some fear. Yes, I did, because I was thinking about my health, in my head. Is it okay to do this? But I want to do something different. But pulling that trigger to do so was, I don't know when I'm going to be here again. I don't know when I'm going to have the opportunity to do it. I have people around me, surrounding me. So if something did happen, I have my tribe with me. S.O.A.R was there with me. I had, people there that care for me, that weren't going to let nothing happen to me. I mean, the ones that could swim on top of it too, but even the ones that couldn't swim would have dove or throw me something, a life raft or something, to help me out. But it was a point of, I had my support there to do that. I got up even though I was scared when I did it, the outcome was bad. It wasn't what I was thinking. You know, I was like, I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna feel good, I'm gonna feel accomplished, but I had to get back up on there and do it again. I did it right after, because if I would have, I know, and how we talk about that self-awareness of us knowing ourselves, I know me, it would have, if I would have dealt with the old me, I would say the fearful me, because there's different sides of us. The fearful me, I would not have done it again. I would have sat down and not did it. And I would not push myself to do something else. But I did do it again. And it did not, of course, thank goodness, it did come out that way again. It was okay. So I, swam and I went into the other lagoon, and it was a freedom. It was a relief of expressing I did it. It was okay. But I set my goal to do something new. I was making sure my self-awareness, around me, knowing that I could do it. I wanted to. The decision to pull the trigger, because I didn't want something to set me back. I had support around me, but then that action taken, I wanted to achieve my goal. I wanted to jump. Now, what I truly wanted to do, I wanted to jump off the highest one, but I did listen to my tribe and say, no, you're not going to do that. So I went to the smallest one, but it still was high enough though. But I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to feel that freedom of doing it and making a decision, not feeling like I was in a fixed mindset. That was allowing myself not to experience life. Some things that you guys have said. So I was choosing the energy of the positive thought to create a more positive and productive mindset by that memory, to be ingrained in my subconscious, because consciously that put fear in me. But then if I would have kept it there for a long time, I was teaching myself in a memory, and that subconscious mind was, what it made you feel, it didn't come out well, so let's not do it again. I had to rewire it again because I wanted to remember something else to move forward. Are there any questions right now? I'm seeing heads. Okay. All right. What I want to do is give you guys like a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back in 5 minutes. Fair? Okay. All right. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. With you guys. I'm wrapping things together so we can build upon each other. The next thing we're going to speak about that comes with the entrepreneur mindset, that comes with how you think and what you do in some of the behaviors. Some of it is there's 4 behavior styles. And I want to show you a clip of the behavior styles actually in action. And I want you to pay attention, because I want to ask you, which one do you think that is more of you, that you identify with? It's going to have the letters, which is along the tool that I use quite often. It's the disc, and the D is the dominance, the I is influence, the S is the steady, and C is compliance. And I'm gonna go in more detail after the video that I'm gonna show you guys. I want you to see which one reminds you of you. And if you see one that reminds you of you, go ahead also and put it in the chat. It's gonna give some different, as we talked about with the mindset too, is the environment that you're in, the task that's being done, and how you interact with people, and even a problem, how you may address it and what you need to know. So I'm going to share that with you. So I want you to identify which one you think that reminds you of yourself, thinks that how you are. Option here. And this is what she's the queen of behaviors, and she gives some different things. I thought it was something how in life that it shows you. So let's see what she has for you guys.
Little snippets on how you can really quickly tell different styles. My remote, my choice. What are we watching? Film, box set, comedy, love story. Oh! Remote control. Everyone had a choice? Are we agreeing as a group what we're watching together? Everyone okay with that? Fabulous. We've all agreed. It's a 30-minute Attenborough, and I've made just the right amount of brew. Hello? Hi, it's Vicky. How can I help? Hello, Vicky here. How can I help you? Good afternoon. through. Oh my God, hello, how are you? Oh my God, oh my God, this is so lovely to see you. I really must go, but I don't want to stay. Oh, but I'll go. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, please do come through. Yes. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. Morning. Morning. Oh, what a beautiful one it is too. Morning. Well, all right, Abby. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Okay, so what is everyone else having? What are you having? Are you all happy with your choosing? Yeah. Now I need to know, are we doing starters, main foods and desserts? Or are we just doing starters? Or are we doing main foods and desserts? I need to know. Complaints department? Now listen to me. Oh, complaints. Oh, hi, yeah. Look, it's nothing personal. It's not against you because, like, you've just answered the phone. Now, I need to bring something to the whole team's attention. I emailed at 9:35 with all the details of my complaint, and I subject mattered it. I will be phoning at 10:30 precisely to discuss that. Well, this is what I'm having. Oh, Friday! Wine time! How exciting! Now, I'd like some red, but what would you like? White or rosé, or maybe not? Maybe just a J2O. What's everyone? Well, this is a nitrogondis, isn't it? Oh, 2007. Yes, wonderful. 15%. Quite. I hope you enjoyed those and had a bit of a laugh. Oops. Maybe even recognised yourself and some of the other people. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. I've been Vicky O'Farrell.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear it or see it anymore.
Thank you. Is my audio? I'm trying to see why it went out. I'm sorry about that, everyone. So which ones did any of you identify with that you saw? Michael, if you're talking, you're muted. Or is it my audio again? Oh, it's yourself. Okay. All right, Michael. All right. Thank you. Which ones did it resonate with you guys? Do you see yourselves in some of those and how you behave?
Me personally, for some of the examples, I resonated more with like for example, with the one where she was running across the screen and greeting someone really energetically. I resonated with her, but I feel like I also resonate with the S example on some of the, like in the other ones she presented. However, I think that the example she gave for S is just what I think subconsciously, and I is just the energy that I see, like people tell me that I deliver physically, because I'm told a lot that I'm very overbearing.
Okay. All right. Layla. Thank you, Catherine.
For me, I identified with I, S, and a little bit of C. I feel like it very much depends on the crowd. if I'm with a group of like, let's say my friends, kids around my age, I feel like I am more like happy and more bubbly, and I might have more of like a more energetic kind tone. Whilst if I'm in a room or in a crowd with adults, I might have a more of like the S style, more just like more being more mature, being more like I'm being kind, but I'm also being respectful. I'm being, in a sense, like classy. And even though I could even like my parents, real close with them, but I'm still gonna like kind of carry myself like a little more like I don't know like the word for it, but like yeah, just more class, more like respect and respect and maturity in a sense.
That's good. All right, Michael.
I think like in the past years, maybe I've been like a little bit more C, where I've been like a little bit more introverted, kind of just like very analytical, like get straight to the point. I think like maybe a little bit lately, I'm trying to be like S, and that's what I've been at like right now. We're trying to be a little bit more like people friendly, also maybe like a little bit like people pleasing, like trying to make sure everybody's happy. Everybody's working together good.
All right, thank you, Michael. And Signa.
I think I'm a combination of I and S, but that's particularly based on my mood. Like I can definitely see myself walking across the street and being like, "Hi, how are you doing today?" But then I can also be like it's also based on the person who's walking across the street. Like if it's an old person, of course I'm going to be a little bit more respectful. But then if it's like a friend, like somebody I know, I'm going to be like, "Hi," and tease the hell out of them. But like we know that's like it's based on the situation for me. Like I'll change. I can even be C during sometimes like when I'm like don't feel like speaking and I'll just kind of do whatever people want me to do.
That makes sense. And good observation, all of you guys, great, because obviously we all have all four. What we have for that. So the analytical was the C that you were saying. The details, she was the ones, when she looked at the bottle and how much content, when she was at the menu, she's looking at everything. She wants to know more details about it. She's looking at it. When she's walking past, the C, she just, she didn't say anything. She just acknowledged, what was done. And it is an introverted actually behavior. The analytical was the C. The two, the expressive was the I that you saw, the very happy, bubbly cheerleader affect that you get. They're enthusiastic, they're very friendly, they want to help everybody, and they're very creative and they're fast paced is what the actually influencer actually is. What the C, I'll jump back to the C is they're the thinker. They want to know, the question they ask a lot of times when it comes into the entrepreneurship aspect mindset is this accurate? They want to make sure they have everything they need and make just a decision one time, one concise decision, want to make sure they have everything they need. And they need to be structured with a schedule. Also, they like to stay on schedule a lot of times. With the I jump back to that. It's like, who else is doing it? They want to influence people. They want people, yes, come on, you guys, when they're like, they'll be like one of the first ones on the dance floor to dance when no one else is on the wall. No one else wants to come out and do it. They'll try to get you out there. Come on, let's have fun. They want to have fun. They want to engage. They like fast pace and they like interactive, fun group projects. What they're like. The S that you saw, the green, the steady, may ask, may I take notes? They actually will listen. It's a more common tone. They're, in a sense, your peacemakers that they have a lot of time. They like a slower pace. They like it steady and consistent. They will ask sometimes it's more teacher support, but they're very loyal, especially when it comes in the group when you're working with them. And they love a lot of one-on-one learning. But some of the things, I think was Michael might have said this, was the people pleasing aspect of it. It does come across if they do this, but they just want to support people and make sure everyone is good and being successful. The D that you saw, the dominant, you can look at it as a driver. The one that was very just straight to the point, Kurt kind of sounded rude in a sense. They look at what's in it for me sometimes. And they're very fast paced, a lot of independent, but they're actually focused on just results, very results driven. They want to get something done. They have their emotions taken out. You didn't see very emotions, but it came across as them being rude sometimes. But they're so focused on getting something accomplished. They're very assertive what they're doing, and they value action. They don't want to hear as something that could be said in one sentence. They don't have a lot of patience for somebody who gives it to them in a whole paragraph. They want it just quick, concise, and so just give me what I need to keep moving forward and getting things done. And what I'm gonna have you guys is gonna be part of, you guys are gonna look back and you're gonna do an assignments. You're gonna do an alignment assessment. And one of the things is to follow up with me, because you'll have your results from it too, but actually do a follow-up and a debrief with you too. It's another part of this that's gonna be attached with this class and your learning that you're due to learn more about it and how we can apply it. This actually ties in with how you do with your subconscious and your conscious mind, as some of the examples that you got in the different environments, whether you're decision making at a restaurant and what you're going to make, maybe you see what someone else is having first before you make your decision, or you're just making longer to see what's on the menu. A lot of times, whether you're in a public, you're running by yourself. A lot of times when someone comes by, how do you approach them? Is it just doesn't matter if they're a stranger or not? You're going to say, hi, how are your day? You're going to have all that energy, or you're just going to nod or say one word, or you might even just wave. And it's like, you don't want to have too much conversation, but it comes some of the things that tie into that you have with the behavior styles and your work ethic. It's basically, how do you think? What is your characteristics? A lot of it comes in with your entrepreneurial thinking that you have. One that we've talked about quite a bit is your problem solving that you have. How do you solve problems? Do you have to have everything before you move forward? Or do you just need a little bit of information? Do you like to challenge some of the opportunities a lot of times? Or do you look at the challenges as things you want to avoid, like avoiding conflict? A lot of times, your characteristics, your thinking. As a entrepreneur, and even as yourself as a person, how do you like to communicate? Do you like to communicate with just short sentences and not, as I call, a lot of fluff with it? Are your ideas, are they very creative, or are they narrow-minded sometimes? Where do you focus on? Is your mind open? Or are you trying to inspire others to act? But when it comes into when you're thinking what you want to implement, your business that you have, you're solving that problem. And usually that's for something that you may need, that you may think others may benefit from, or is it something in your community they might need? Sometimes your community lacks things that you see in other communities. How are you communicate that effectively moving fast? You guys talked about commitment and perseverance. What comes with the resilience that it has here. You stay that and you bounce back. A lot of you gave some great examples, which in how you bounce back and how you look at your challenges that you have, pushing through, or your decision making that you have. You demonstrate and you keep that growth mindset. The other part is your adaptability. How do you pivot when something comes up in those environments, especially in an environment that might be new? How do you move yourself in some of those environments to actually get what you need to achieve some of the goals that you want? You enclose yourselves in some dynamic, as it says, environments that you have like-minded people. And you don't always want to be, as I say, the smartest person in the room either. But what you will do is adjust those plans and you pivot when you're looking at, you meet some of those needs that need changed. And even, it's not even of others. Sometimes it's also a lot of time is reflecting ourselves, our inner self, of what we have. So overcoming some of those obstacles that we have, one that we spoke of a lot of times, and it's a big one, and it does come up, but the first thing people think of when they hear the word obstacle, they don't look at it as an opportunity. They don't look at it as positive when the word obstacle is actually even said. So as we talked about the obstacle, the first thing that many think of is failure. If I'm going to fail, what is that going to look like? So we have to overcome those. So it's important to understand, the most part is that, as we talked about, failure to me is just a first attempt at learning. But one thing I want you guys to look at too is, what is your definition of failure? And yes, you have to have the positive mindset of it. But I mean, there are pros and cons to everything. You weigh your scales. You know what you're feeling on that. What feeling do I get if I feel I'm doing something that's going well, and then now it's failing? It's not coming out the way I wanted it to be. But however, don't some good presents come in ugly packages? That's how I look at when we're looking at the feel of failure, the outcome aspect of it, and the support. When you don't have the support of who is around you, If they're not, like I said before, if they're not there to help boost you, where is that intention coming from? The person who's giving you the advice, a lot of time it's said too, with powerful people, don't take the advice from someone who's not doing what you want to do. A lot of times you'll get advice from people and the support is they're afraid because they wouldn't do it themselves. So it's being imprinted on you to do some of it. So you face the challenges, but you got to find that right support network, even now. And it doesn't have to be an adult. It's your peers. And I want to put the label on it too, is there's no age define that either. I mean, I get sometimes when you get so caught up in your thinking, overthinking, that could be an obstacle too. Sometimes someone just looking outside the window can give you some great advice. It could be a 3-year-old. They could just tell you, it'll be okay. Just smile. That is some great advice because you maybe forget to smile. I mean, how often in your life sometimes that you realize, did I even laugh today? Did I even smile today? Because sometimes you're so focused and you're so busy and you have so much going on, and you may feel you don't have the support that you actually need. So age doesn't matter where that information is coming from. And to me, even with younger kids, they have no filter sometimes, and they do say some of the darndest things, but sometimes it does make you think. But one of the biggest thing is find your network where you need to be so you actually can have your tribe to support you and help you continuously grow. Put yourself in uncomfortable places where it's people that will be able to help you, and learn to just ask for that help sometimes. And one thing overcoming is your limited resource that you have. When you first start off as an entrepreneur, there are very limited resources you have to build. But learning how to find those, and again, like I said, asking for that help to help you move forward, especially when it comes to funding, there are other ways. There's grants. You're going to learn more in some of your other classes of ways, sponsorships. There's other ways to get cash flow. There's other ways to get grants. So other ways of passive income, some that you learned in budgeting, how you could save. Some of your talents, things that you love to do that you can get done in 2.2 seconds that might take somebody an hour, you can capitalize on that talent that you have. So your resources may be limited, but your talent is abundant. So I want you to remember that, capitalize on that. Some of the strategies that I want you to look at in developing your entrepreneur mindset that you have is embrace those challenges that you have. Or are they really challenges? Are they just fears that you don't want to move forward on? Are the ones that are they pushing you to move better? How can you use them to motivate you? These challenges that you're having. That continuous learning also is, where can you get the information that you need? If it's not always on the internet, if it's not somewhere close to you, where can you do that? Looking at the trends also on the news. Look for, I would say, in other places, mentorship, resources, look them in places that are not common sometimes. Sometimes they're right in your face. And a lot of times we don't use the library very often. The library is an abundance wealth of information, just like the internet. A lot of times they have free classes that go on in there. They offer classes that people don't tap into. Some, maybe your local nonprofit organizations, your Ys. I don't know if you have Ys, big brother, big sisters. There's a lot of different mentors in areas that you can tap into if you're limited, especially with school, to keep your knowledge and you're actively seeking more skills that you need. Nothing is wrong with going in. I even done it. For instance, I went into this when I was younger. I wanted to know how. I love reading the newspaper, where there's not very more newspaper places you can go to. I went to the newspaper place. It was actually called the Journal at the time. I wanted to know how they made the paper, what the process was. So I went and asked, could I have a tour? Can I have a tour of it? Or, what is the process? Who could I ask to even do that? So they were kind of reluctant because no one really came in, especially me as a teenager, want to know, how is a paper made? What it takes to get a paper? How do you write an article? Would I be able to write an article? I see in the newspaper, there weren't anything, toward teenagers. Once again, I saw a problem I wanted to solve, but, a voice for teenagers, in the community. How can I help? So unexpected places, don't put yourself in a fixed mindset or think just because it's not being done, it can't be done. And moving that and ways that can apply in your daily life, some of the subconscious and conscious aspects too, is a part of the problem solving for you. How do we find solutions to many of the problems that we see? I'm asking. What ways do you problem solve?
Testing out different solutions.
And when you have those different solutions, which way are you testing them?
For example, if I'm trying out new methods to study, especially recently, I've been trying to study for this important science exam that's coming up. And I've been trying out different methods like the scribble method, the Pomodoro method, and I test out like how effective they are by studying different segments of each section, doing practice quizzes, and seeing how well I do on them. That's one way that I would see that someone could test out different solutions.
Right, thank you. One that I don't see if there's any other hands. Okay, I don't see any hands. One thing I want to do. Oh, go ahead, Michael.
I was thinking like asking other people, it's always okay to ask for help, teamwork when problem solving.
Very much so. What I want to do to encompass the things that we spoke about today, I want you to begin doing a growth plan with you. So the first thing I want you to decide on, and I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes we're gonna begin this together, is and a part of something I want you to submit to. I want you to use the different aspects as we told, the developing your strategies, the obstacles that you had in an entrepreneur mindset, the fix and the growth, and apply it with this. But we're just gonna do a brief draft, but I do want you to turn in and work with me to see what you have accomplished on that. I want you to make a commitment to intentionally grow. What does that look? What commitment can you make? What statement can you make to intentionally grow? Some of the things that you learned that we discussed in this so far. What statement can you pull to make that commitment to grow intentionally?
Can you ask the question again? I'm a little bit confused.
Sure, not a problem. What statement can you make in the growth plan that we're doing? What statement can you make now that you commit to intentionally grow? For instance, I'll say for myself, if I wanted to make a commitment to network, I need to network and get out and meet more people. So my intention to commit to is intention goal is to network with at least 4 people in the week. Does that make more sense, Signa? Thank you. And when you have your statement, put a D in the chat for me, please.
I'm trying to write, but I'm kind of like I'm still kind of confused. Like I understood what you said a little, but I'm confused.
Your vibe went out, Excel. I heard part of it. You said you're still thinking.
Yeah, but I'm confused on like I heard your example, but I don't really understand what we're doing.
Okay, maybe the second part would help with that. I want you to make a commitment to an area where you can intentionally grow. That's what I want you to do. Now, when you're intentionally to grow, you're going to have two choices. I want you to have at least an area of choice where you can grow, and then a skill you can grow. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, thank you.
One thing I'll take an example I recall you saying earlier was maybe your time management. So a commitment would be I'm intentionally growing my time management. So your choice is to grow is maybe your choice in it would be your attitude and your discipline. That would be the area of choice in that statement. The skill would be in that is what are you going to do to enhance staying committed in that time management? Or are you going to lock out maybe an hour a day, or maybe 15 minutes to even write down what you want to do to commit to keeping time management ongoing in your life to make it better to where you'll be okay with it? Where your statement, I think you said you sucked at it or something to that effect, and you want to get better. So it could just be, I commit to getting better in time management. And how are you going to do that? I choose to do that with a better attitude or discipline in my time management. The area and skill to enhance that intentional growth area, maybe set alarms that might help with you. So the skill that you're going to do, reminders, does that help at all, Excel? Okay. And for the other ones that are done too, you guys write down what area choice you're going to improve that intentional growing and what area skill, because you need two. Now for the next part, when you're doing a growth plan, it comes with accountability. So make it public. So just committing, not if you don't commit in public, it's fully worthless, because that's how you get accountability partners and people to hold you to what you want to commit to. So it helps to keep you on course, and it also helps with the point of you driving yourself to achieve something. You do not have to share the area choice or the area skill to do it, but I want you just to verbally read your statement in the area that you would like to grow in. And I'll start with Signa. Go ahead.
I'm confused. What did you want me to say out loud again?
Sure. Just read your commitment to intentionally grow. What is a statement you did?
I intentionally want to learn one new thing every week that interests me.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Michael?
All right. I want to commit to becoming more financially independent by the time I'm 18.
Okay. All right. Got a long-term one. All right. Catherine?
I am determined to cultivate discipline and maintain an adaptive, positive attitude towards productivity, understanding that it's a key thing for my personal and professional growth. And the area was self-discipline.
Okay. All right, Layla.
My commitment to grow is I want to commit to expanding my knowledge and disciplining myself by the age of 18.
Okay. All right, and Excel.
Personal growth, just set goals, push boundaries, and track my progress.
Okay. All right. So the thing that you guys are doing, what I want you to do is to intentionally keep this. What you guys are doing, I want you to invest an hour in both of those areas a day and then reflect on it also. And for this is going to be in the Google Classroom too. So you guys will have this to reference to. But it's something I want you guys to return and I can look at it and I'll give you feedback on it on the growth plan. And then also, like I said, to do the alignment assessment too. And it would be to meet with me to debrief you also. So those are two things that are going to go along with this class. Do you guys have any questions before Miss Latoya comes?
Yeah, can you repeat? Oh,
no, don't.
I was gonna ask, can you repeat like what you just said?
With the growth result, the growth plan, I want you to submit it like you submit your other assignments that you guys have done. And then I'm also gonna, so you guys are gonna have to meet with me because I'm gonna go over when I have you guys a link. You're gonna take the alignment assessment and then I'm gonna review that with you. And then I'm gonna give you guys feedback. You guys are gonna have to schedule a time with me to talk with me a part of this class part. But the directions are gonna be in the Google Classroom for you. And I can follow up with an email too after this. I know you guys have your assessment today, so I want you guys to have time that I don't want to keep you any longer. You can email it, Miss Latoya put it into the chat. Also the email info@letsoarnj.org.
When
Thank
is
you,
the
Miss
deadline?
Latoya. Say again, Excel?
When is the deadline to email it?
Before that, I would say at least by Monday,
Okay.
please. Thank you for asking. Monday the 11th. Most of you guys probably won't have school that day, so. But if you get it sooner, I will respond to you sooner too. All right, if no other questions, go ahead, Ms. Latoya. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. C. That was a fantastic class. Virtual claps to you. Thank you all scholars you're welcome. Thank you all scholars for being here. Go ahead and click on the link in the chat. It's assessment day. So my computer's very delayed, so I apologize. Hopefully you all can hear me. I'm sure my camera's a little wonky.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. All right, so let me attempt to share my screen. Hopefully this all goes well. So for this assessment, we're actually doing both marketing and branding that you had with Professor J on Tuesday, as well as the class tonight. All right, I see 5 friends in there. Now, okay, we're all set. feeling? Brand voice 10.
Latoya, are you able to turn the music down a little bit?
Is that better? No, it did nothing.
It's still loud.
Okay. I don't know how to turn it off on my end, but I'm not really talking.
It's the music.
Yeah, it's like very loud and distracting.
Unless you just mute it.
There we go.
But it ended the Mentimeter though.
Oh no, not just muting it, it shouldn't have.
No, I'm just saying right now, I don't know if you stopped it.
Oh,
That's
I
what's
didn't,
weird.
no, I didn't stop anything. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe she logged out.
No, I'm still
yeah.
here.
Oh, okay.
I just stopped the share to turn off the music.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully this helps. Does that help?
No, it's still going.
Are you able to mute your sound?
Hold on one second.
I'm saying, are you able to mute your sound? I think Michael put something in the chat as well. You know, these, what is it, Gen Zs, Gen Xs? They know all about this stuff. You can mute your tab if you right click on it. I don't know. Not really sure where to go with that. Okay, everyone, while we're waiting for Miss Latoya to adjust the sound on the Mentimeter music, I'm going to just give you a heads up that on, I believe it was November the 21st, we were supposed to have our resume class. Unfortunately, I'm going to be away on a business conference, and so I'm going to have to push that class back to Monday, November the 25th. I'm not sure if Ms. Latoya already mentioned that, but I just wanted to make sure you guys could adjust your schedules. That is going to be the week of Thanksgiving, so you guys will have my class on Monday, and then I believe Miss Latoya's class on Tuesday, and then we should be done until the following week. And Miss Latoya can correct me if necessary. But so November the 25th, that is a Monday. If you guys can put that in your calendar, same time, same place, 6:30 to 8:30. That's going to be the new date and time for our resume class. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me directly or after class. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. Yeah, so the last class is the 26th of Thanksgiving, so that's the Tuesday, and then your presentations is on December 3rd. All right, we're back in the quiz. I have to go all the way out and turn the music off, so we're all set now. I'm waiting on one more. It might be Catherine. I see her coming in now. Catherine, I'm gonna put the Mentimeter in the chat so you can rejoin us. All right. Oh, somebody just dropped it in. Blank is at the core of the brand voice and image. Personality. One of the primary goals of blank communication is to persuade consumers or businesses by either changing their perception of a brand or product. Marketing. Oh, that one's on there twice. That's a freebie for you all. What does the term entrepreneur mindset imply about an individual's approach to business and problem solving? Define a growth mindset and provide an example of how it might manifest in an entrepreneur. Good job. List 2 of the 4 behavioral style mythology characteristics that are often seen in a successful entrepreneur. Analytical and reflective. How does examining the cognition of entrepreneurs aid in understanding their motivation and approach towards business challenges? It uncovers psychological traits that contribute to their processes. Last one. How might an entrepreneur with a growth mindset approach failure differently than one with a fixed mindset? Use it as a learning opportunity. All right, congratulations, Sigda. All right, great job. A lot of those you all had unanimously correct. So congratulations to you all. Before I share the survey in the chat, any questions? Anything we can answer for you? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you all again for being here. I am going to drop the survey link in the chat. Please note that next week is 3 classes. Yes, you heard that correctly. 3 classes. We are piloting a new class next Wednesday. Similarly to what we did in the fundamentals, we are piloting a brand new class, never seen before in advance, called Investing 101. So next week, consider it a whole finance week. You got adequate cash flow on Tuesday. You have Investing 101 on Wednesday. And then you have credit mindfulness on Thursday. So a whole week of green week. We should start calling it green week because it's the same thing in our fundamentals, a whole week of money. So come ready and prepared. And thank you for your time tonight. And once you're done with the survey, if you don't have any questions, please feel free to exit the call. We did receive notice that someone did share that they would like mentorship. If you did share that on the survey previously, you could definitely reach out to us. You can email info@letsoarnj.org. You can WhatsApp any one of us, and we will get you the mentorship and help that you need. This time is similar to fundamentals. So, you know, we're always willing to stay on a little bit later should you have any questions. We're also willing to come on a little bit earlier should you have any questions. We can join the call at 6. So just reach out to us and let us know what you need. Right, just waiting on 2 more surveys. Thank you all for your thoughtful feedback. It's always a great joy to read it. Awesome, just waiting on 1 more. I love your lights, Michael. I have lights like that too. And I like your NASA shirt, Snigdha. That's cool. Never had a NASA shirt before.
Haven't had one. Been there. Haven't had one though.
I think I've been there once too, some kind of field trip or something or another.
It is very interesting. Very interesting.
We went there during our Florida trip like a year ago, I think. During actually fall break, I'm pretty sure. For my brother, because he likes that stuff. So, but I didn't get this from there. I just found it somewhere and I was like, you know what, fine.
Were you able to see the Blue Angels when you came or no? On your trip?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Okay. Fair answer.
All right, well, all the surveys are in. If you don't have any questions, you're welcome to enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for bearing with us on assessment day. Sorry for the overstimulating music. It did not sound like that on my end. It's so weird how Zoom does those things. So thank you for bearing with me.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
good night.
Have a good night.
Like, I don't know. I think this program is really nice, and I appreciate all that you're doing, all that you're helping me with, and that you would choose and appreciate me, and I appreciate that. So
Oh,
thank you.
that's
Thank
so
you.
nice. That's so nice, Michael. And your hard work led you here too.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say congratulations. I wasn't on the call. I was out campaigning, doing my last due diligence round of campaign. So
I know, that's so
congratulations
cool. That's
to
so
you.
cool.
Yeah. So we both had a winning night. Congratulations.
Hey, I was reading so much more about like the whole program and you, and I just think like everything. It's like it's so amazing what you're doing,
Oh,
and I
thank
just
you.
thank you.
It takes a team effort, and as you can see, we have a phenomenal team. So, yeah, and it resonates throughout the classes. So, you did phenomenal this last series, and we're looking forward to seeing what you have for us in the advanced session.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Well, you're welcome, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Have a nice night, everyone.
Have a good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Michael.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Did you need anything else from me on my end? Are you still recording too?